Yo, what's up? This is Alex with Gray Area. Welcome to our series Spotlight, where our mission is to build a bigger and more united house music community by sharing new and exciting artists, festivals, and Brent fans with you. In this interview, you'll hear from TolinchiLove, one of the first DJs to receive international attention from the thriving Peruvian house music scene. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more interviews just like this. Are you in Mexico right now?
Yeah, I'm actually right now in Tulum.
Okay.
This is my last day in Tulum. I have to go tomorrow to Cancun, and then I'm coming to Mexico City. I have the last gig there in a private party of some friends I met here in Playa del Carmen, where I had one of my gigs were in Playa del Carmen, and we connect with some guys, and they have a little promote group in Mexico City, so they asked me to come, and I was coming there because I had to go to the airport, so it was fine, you know.
Nice. Would you mind describing your sound? It's just a good way for me to always start the interview off.
Okay, my sound as a DJ, as an artist, as a producer, that kind of sound.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a good way of starting an interview. I understand where you want to go. Okay, my sound, I can describe it as it's a joyful, funky groove, exciting, clubbing, dance house vibe sound.
All right, I like the good description. And you're from Peru. Can you talk a little bit about the dance music community there?
Yeah, I'm one of the ambassadors from Peru right now in the electronic scene, with some other guys that are being noticed in the world, like Amo Avenue, Chino Negro, Death Pillow. There are some other guys that are making a name. Some friends of mine are also starting in the international community. There are a lot of names, but we are like the real first generation of Peruvian artists that are coming outside. So it's a big achievement for us as an electronic dance scene, because we were used to import a lot of talent and a lot of music since the 90s. You know, since the 90s, we do a lot of parties. We know a lot of electronic music for being a third world class country, but it's like in all countries in the world. You know, we started as a little community, and then it spread. So now it's more like a business or a professional work to do. So we are like the first generation of professional artists that are here for real, and we are work with serious people, and we know how to manage our careers in the world, you know. And not only in Peru, that is very difficult because there's no management, there's no agencies. We are the first ones that are like learning how to do it and teaching how to do it to others, you know. So that's important. Why it's important for us to be acknowledged and to have achievements and to have things to say about us, because we are representing not only us, but people that are coming behind of us. You know, we are opening doors. We are happy and, ¿cómo se dice? Orgullosos, pride. We're proud about that.
Yeah, and you should be. How does it feel to be kind of a pioneer for Peruvian house music?
I feel like a pioneer. You know, DJ life. It's a lot about ego, because this is a career that is very individual. but we are always have our groups, like little families that happens in the world or in your community. There is always gonna be people that is gonna talk about, like haters are gonna hate and lovers are gonna love. But every one of us has each own haters, and they're gonna always been saying that pioneers are not only the only pioneers. So there are another pioneers in another kind of way, but in this way of the recognition in the world of dance music, representing a country, we are the first ones. We are happy about it, and that's why we take so serious this stuff. We are not like just kids playing. We are like making art, communicating something, and doing good. We're giving people work.
Yeah. So you kind of talked about, the people who came before you, because there's been a dance music scene in Peru for a long time. Yeah. You started off as a raver, almost 20 years ago. Who got you into DJing first?
Oh, that's a very good question. I'm like an autodidacta.
Yeah.
But I always give recognition to my best friend in the DJ world in Peru and in the world. His name is Paul Treyes. Paul Treyes is a very close friend of mine. He's also my favorite DJ in Peru. I think he has the perfect warm-up sets in Peru and a lot of places in South America. He had toured also in a lot of countries, but he's more local DJ now in Peru, and he's like my right hand in Peru. He's like my resident DJ in the clubs where we work, and he was the first and the only guy that doesn't became jealous when I wanted to learn, because I was already promoting parties and I already was known as a raver, but I started very late to play, like when I was 24 years old, and I have 36 years old right now. And when I have my students, I always tell them that for me it would be better to start younger, but it doesn't happen. So they have to acknowledge that they have that benefit that I didn't have. That it's starting early. I start very, very, very late because I just wanted to party and connect with people, and I don't know. I doesn't want to think about music because I just wanted to feel that. But I already knew a lot of music.
Right.
I was always like a music maniac since I was 18, 17 years old with my friends in the beach in Peru. That we love rock and roll, funk, disco. We're like music encyclopedias, not only about electronic music, but music itself, all music,
Yeah, absolutely. Why do you think it took you so long to move from being a raver to becoming a DJ and a producer?
Because I for real, look at my face. For real, I only wanted to dance, man. The only thing that when I discovered electronic music, not only as music, because as music is not so complex,
Right.
For real, we are not like musicians. We work with musicians. We're more like musical people, not musicians in the whole world. So there's a lot of respect in that way. But we as a producers, we take stuff from all the knowledge we can know about music, and that's why we can do some of the things we do, because of the love of music we have, and the knowledge we get through all that investigation. We are like Indiana Jones of music.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember
it's always an adventure. For me, it's always an adventure. Knowing about music, traveling through music, you know?
Yeah.
I have almost 1,000 gigs, professional gigs.
It's a lot.
I was counting the other time. It's amazing, man. There are very good parties in all South America and South America. Very good parties. Only the ones I can count, you know, and it's a lot. And I start late, but I grew fast.
Yeah, you made up for a lot of lost time in a really short amount of time.
Yeah, man. I came late to the party because I was already in the party.
That's right. That's right. Do you remember your first rave?
No, you know it. Don't remember my first rave. I remember, like, I think it's the second or the first one. I remember one party with Timo Mas. Yes. I already played with Timo also, but I was very young. Timo Mas in Peru, of course. And I remember it because it was the one, and this is something that I always talk about. It was not because of the DJ, it was because of the party concept, you know. Right. At that time, that party gets in my mind always, and I remember it as the first one because it was like an enchanted woods. The concept was the enchanted woods, I don't know, and there were like little dwarfs dressed as dwarfs and princesses, and you know all the concept of the enchanted wood. And it was a mind-blowing experience. And I always see the electronic thing that it must be like that, you know, as a concept. That's why always elbow works, resistance works, awakenings works. I don't know. Concepts works. Pink Floyd works. Beatles works. I have a concept. TolinchiLove is a concept, man. My name is Mauricio Tola. TolinchiLove is the combination of my nickname as a kid, Tolinchi, and love is the message. So it's a concept through music, through happiness, through joy. It's not like an improvisation, but it has to look like an improvisation. That's part of the art, you know.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Thank you. And my English is not my best is
you're coming
across. I don't know even the words. It's not my strongest tool. It's not my best tool, man. Sorry.
It's all good. I fully understand everything you're saying.
Thank you, man.
Can you talk to me about the impact Danny Tanaglia had on you as an artist?
Yeah, man. I don't know how you know that. Danny was the first. When I was all into music and not into dance music, I only like electronic music, but not as a concept of music. I only wanted to go to parties, but I was more into funk music. I don't know, because in Peru the parties I was coming, I could go were like techno parties or only progressive dark parties. So I was like, okay, this is fine, but I want another kind of music, you know, another vibe. And I started to look in another kind of music that not the DJs that were coming in that time, you know. So one friend of mine, Carlos Sandia, one of the very close of me in Peru, he showed me the Back to Basics disc 1 from Danny Tanaglia, and it was an incredible set because for the first time I heard one set that all the tracks I like all the tracks and all the transitions, and I didn't even knew about transitions or anything, you know. I only knew about what I like or what I don't like. And that marks me because was why this music is not here? Why I can't listen to this music in my habitat, you know? And the disc 2 was like all the parties I had in Peru. Disc 2 was like, but this one was so musical and so another way of or school of house music that never came too much into Peru, you know. For example, Dennis Ferrer never went to Peru to play. And for me, it's sacrilege.
Right.
It's like Dennis Ferrer, man. It's like one of the basic masters at work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frankie Knuckles. So we don't have the real house culture, if you know what I mean.
I do.
I had to look at in other places and try to get it into my country as I could. That's why the love and the concept. Everything is joined.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Chicago and French house school. And that's what I want to teach and to guide, And with the condiments of Afro Latin vibe that I don't have because I'm Latino.
Right. That makes sense. Do you feel like part of your mission is to bring that style of house to your country?
My mission in the world is to spread the message, man. That's exactly what I have to do. What I'm doing it right now. Before COVID, it was all perfect. It was like the perfect road to the dream. I was already living the dream, like from a lot of time working in Peru and being nobody to where I was touring all South America in the best parties with the best artists that I already all my life respect, and being with them as an equal, and have something to say and have something to give to the electronic music and to give my message that it was like influenced by others, that I was already with them. It was so perfect for me, and it's already being like that because it's returning. I never stopped working, I was doing another stuff, but for me it was, and it is like a dream come true, and it gives meaning to my life because I always thought, I think artists we always think we are special and we have to do something with that special thing. And for me, it was very simple. You have to be a good person, a happy person, and you have to share it with the world. And if it's through dancing, it's through dancing, and that's my way. It works for me and for the ones that are receiving the message. So thank you for letting me spread it more.
Yeah, absolutely. You received an Electro Sono Award in 2014. Why do you feel like that's significant? I read somewhere that the Ministry of it's like an official award from the government or something like that. Can you explain?
Yeah. I'm not very fan of the awards, because one thing that always differences art from sports is that we are not competing.
Right.
We are sharing, not competing, sharing. So we are not, there is not like number one or number two or I'm better than you. We are pros or amateurs. For me, we are pros or amateurs or wannabes. Pros or fans. Right. And in the world of the pros, the ones that we are really working in this, you can like it or you cannot like it, but you have to respect it, Yeah. So in that way, this was a recognition from a DJ school from Peru that works with the Ministry of Culture. So I was young, as a young artist also. My career was not very, very worked, but it was a breakthrough award. It was cool to get it. I have a good relationship with the school, even if I never give classes there and I'm their competition, because I also give lessons by myself. So it's good to be in competition, but in a good way, and we are respecting each other, and we have like this kind of things that happen that says, okay, Tolinchi, we acknowledge you are important and we can work not together, but in the same objectives,
Right.
working for Peru, man.
Absolutely.
When I told my parents I was going to leave of this, they just start crying and they didn't even they don't trust that idea. And I said, look at this. I work in advertising. I was working at advertising since I was young. Look at this, guys, father and mother. I think I'm an intelligent person, so it's gonna be like 1 year of try, because I have noticed that there are no stars in Peru for the world. So there is a niche, hay un nicho. There's a hole there that in positioning, we can do that. And if that happens, I'm gonna have work and I'm gonna be happy more than I am, and I'm gonna be traveling the world and doing something more important than I'm doing it right now. That it's only for the money. And my mother, no, you have already your whole life said that. No, I think it's gonna be better, and that's why I work TolinchiLove as a brand. You know, I'm the most real guy I can be, but I always treat my communication as work. As you can see, my social media is only for music, man. And that's the only thing that matters to me. It's not like, hey, I'm here in the Torre Pisa. It's okay, I have that moment, but are my moments. But what I do with social media is, look at me. This is the message. Find me, contract me, and let's have it in person, because the experience, or you can judge an artist. Oh, I always say that you only can judge a true artist live. As a compositioner, as a production musical, it's okay to do albums. But I'm a DJ first DJ than a producer. I'm a DJ producer. DJ first, producer. The producer in me works for TolinchiLove, the DJ, live DJs. That's the most important moment for me, you know.
That is, I love the way you said that. Thank you.
No, thank you. But you know what is that? And why maybe you're loving it? Because I don't think you are too young also. So you are remembering the time where DJs were DJs and producers were producers. And not the best DJs were the best producers. They complement themselves. So I always acknowledge that I have to force myself to be a good producer that works for the level as I think I am as a DJ, because I think like I'm like a world star DJ. I'm a good producer. Working together.
Well, that's an important distinction to make, because everybody just expects the producer to be the DJ now. And that's not always the way it was. And there's some producers who are better at one thing than the other, and vice versa.
Yes,
so
I always say my favorite DJs are never my favorite producers. Never.
Oh no, same. Absolutely. Some of the best.
Never play music from my favorite DJ. But when Hernan Cataño is one of my favorite DJs, not even my sound, you know. But or Dennis Ferrer. I played 2 tracks of Dennis Ferrer mostly. But as a DJ live, it's like, woo! Or Luciano. Never play music from Luciano. Never music from Cadenza, but Luciano's live. And as a representation of what I want to make with Peru, as he made with Chile, that's the kind of impact I want to make as a DJ or artist, not only through DJing, not through production like Ricardo Villalobos. It's not my talent. It's not Caesar to the Caesar, you know. Al César lo que es del César. I don't know.
I love it.
You have to know your strengths and your not too, I don't know,
your weaknesses.
Your weaknesses.
Yes. So it's been kind of a weird year for everybody, especially for anybody who's in dance music. What are you looking forward to in 2021?
Man, I'm so ready.
I see it's already starting to happen for you.
I'm making it happen, as always. You know, my mantra when I started was, nobody's going to do it for you. You have to do it by yourself. Everything. Yeah. Your own your own PR, your own manager. Even if I have a team right now, I work right now with Danny Tenaglia's manager. That was something I wanted to add also.
How interesting.
Danny Tenaglia's, it's important for me, not only because of that this I told you and the meaning for me to find new music in that way, but also because of Guy Ramos. Guy Ramos is Danny Tenaglia's manager. He's a very close friend of mine. He came to Peru to do some of his Moonlight parties, and we connect, and he works with me right now with my manager, Felipe Callado also, that he's also a great artist. So we are like a team. We were talking about families, So we work together, and that's what I was laughing, because I have Danny so close that I forget sometimes, because Guy is so close. He helps me signing my tracks, man. Such an amazing person, and a game changer in the electronic music scene, because he has the empathy I think a lot of people need in this business.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you do when you're not listening to dance music?
Well, I do lessons. I give classes because I need to work. This was a strange year, as you were saying, but I was producing a lot, signing my tracks. Signing tracks, it takes long. If you want to sign them good, for example, for me to have Madre Tierra remix in Nervous recordings, it takes like one and a half year, because I don't want to give it to anyone, because I was waiting the response of 8 months of Nervous, because that's how things work, and I had to know it. So I was telling to Guy, that was the one helping me to do the connection.
Right.
I will wait. Maybe they'll answer. I'm not gonna give this to anybody. I have to be Nervous. And that kind of strategy and mind worked, because it was acknowledged by the Rolling Stone magazine. It was one of the highlights of my career.
Yeah, absolutely.
My photo must be there, man, because it was my project. But no, Alima is an amazing band, friends of mine. And I know they get the note because of the combination of the band as a Peruvian recognized world music band,
right?
Because of the label, the name of the label that is so big, Nervous Recordings. It's an eminence. It's the best label I could ever sign as a Peruvian artist.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the idea I had to do this remix, because everybody in Peru already knew that song. So everybody, I knew it worked, Everybody always, TolinchiLove, Mama Pacha, Tolinchi. So it was like, I always say it, Madre Tierra, the key, la llave, the key. This is the key.
Yeah.
To open these doors.
So I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me today.
Gracias a ti, Alex. Muchas gracias. Gracias a todo el equipo de Gray Area por lo que están haciendo por mí. Thank you very much to all the team of Gray Area for doing this, because there is one moment in our careers as an artist that we only want to think of music and not to have the back of the whole responsibilities to be noticed about our work. So thank you for trusting my work and liking it and sharing it with the world, man. Let's do it.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite things about life, is to share the music that I love, and that's made such a huge impact on me. I've been in dance music for over 20 years, and this is...
I hope you like the set. I hope you like the set in the desert, man. All tracks by myself.
That's so awesome.
All tracks produced by TolinchiLove. Unreleased tracks.
I love it.
Enjoy it.
That's awesome. That's great to hear that it's an all-exclusive set. That's dope.
You didn't do it?
No, I didn't. Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Thank you. Well, not a very bad producer then.
Well, once again, thank you so much for being on, and we'll definitely be in touch, and hopefully you can make it to the United States very soon.
Yeah, I'm working. I have to talk with Joey to do my first tour in the US. It's time, man. It's time.
Yes, it is. I hope
Thank
to
you
see
very
you when
much.
you come over here. Thank
Of
you.
course.